Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? We're moving on with more Blood Force. This is issue 3, page 14, maybe? I don't have it in front of me, but I'm guessing that's what it is. Anyway, this is the second of the Popo pages, the second of two. So just before we get into it, if you enjoy the channel, if you feel like you might want to help out a little bit, what you can do is in the description there's a link to my Patreon. And if you subscribe there, that'll give you access to everything I do from the Blood Force pages, such as what we're looking at here, to the YouTube videos before they get uploaded to YouTube, as well as some Patreon exclusive content. I finally got to draw some more Popo. And so now he's finally free from the hamster wheel, and now he can leap down and pose, as he's been yearning to for all of these pages. He's been up in the hamster wheel for a while. I got to figure out what the shadow situation is going to be like, because it's important with Popo to remember. I mean, I always go for some kind of shadow at least, but with Popo specifically, Popo has his own shadow field, which I can sometimes forget a little bit, where Popo always has to be in dramatic shadow of some kind. So even if it's not really, in line with what's going on in the rest of the page, he could be in like a brightly lit hallway and still have like uplighting or something. Because that's the Popo way. Oh, and I wanted to try out a circular panel, because I haven't tried one of those yet. And I needed a panel specifically for him noticing something. So yeah, now that he's down, this is the page where Popo begins to gear up. And I set it up so that I was going to have to draw a whole bunch of guns here. But thankfully, I got my photocopier set up finally. So that's how a lot of this page actually got finished up. Like doing the photocopies isn't something I want to do too often, but for comedic effect, sometimes you need it. And that's something I've learned from Cerebus over the years. So yeah, we get our standing flexing shot. I think his head's a little small here, but it's tough to tell. It is kind of a bit of a forced perspective shot too. Turns out to be a decent look, at least. I'm kind of constantly evolving how I do the torsos a little bit, because now I've, well, I mean, on this one here, I still hadn't really been going by realistic muscles too much. I mean, like a little bit here and there. But since then, I've kind of moved on where I'm trying to incorporate more realistic muscle and just building off of that existing structure. So this is more of a Tim Vigil lower half of the torso kind of build, like the abdomen area. I keep getting my head stuck right in the middle there. It's bugging me a little bit. And it's tough to do a shot from here without making Popo's crotch the focus. But I think I did okay to not make it look like he's just fucking bulging there. Yeah, it's always funny because like I'll spend minimal time on backgrounds, and then as soon as I've got to render a torso, it's like, oh yeah, sure, no, I'll spend like 10, 15, 20 minutes, 45, I don't care, whatever it takes. Just pick a muscle and start feathering. And yeah, Popo doesn't seem to be suffering any ill effects from being strung up for a few days. Thankfully. Not particularly weak. He does maybe have a little bit of extra definition thanks to the dehydration. He can thank the clerk for that. And we say goodbye to the hamster wheel. This is probably the last time I'll draw it. Maybe I'll put something in because there is one more shot of Popo in this issue. It might have to show up again. And yeah, trying to figure out what to put on the ceiling, because this is the first time I'm drawing it. So I just decided on, oh man, get right in there, why don't you? Yeah, I just decided on kind of Alien-y, like H.R. Geiger kind of um, overlapping layers of some kind that I'm trying to not make look like labia, and it may be successful, hopefully. And then, yeah, just like some of those lit up globes for lights. And yeah, it's not a terrible look. And then just hatch it into oblivion, as is tradition. Yeah, and just kind of work on each one separately. And put in some extra like folds and shit. I don't know why. But you gotta do something, right? And you gotta break it up so that I don't just, I don't know, to make the hatching easier. This is all just kind of on the fly. Again, as is per usual. Doesn't end up looking too bad, I think. And it's fairly, simple to draw, which is good for me. And then just a little bit of tech in the back here, because you need something joining, the usual, what we see in the backgrounds, all the tech stuff, with whatever the fuck I just decided to put on the ceiling there. And then, yeah, this machinery stuff. And just a couple of screen doors for good measure. And yeah, these 3 panels up in the top right here, I think I'm pretty much going to leave for last because that's not fun to draw. This stuff here, a bit more so. Extreme close-up of the face. Again, trying to get some shadow in, but it's a little tough without just obscuring him completely. And now I got to figure out, okay, well, you need extra lines in here because it is an extreme close-up. I probably should have gotten some like Youngblood or something out for reference for that. But it, ended up looking all right. Oh, you're not actually going to draw those now, are you? I think maybe like 1 or 2. But yeah, the circle panel's fun. You gotta, I mean, after all the profit issues I took a look at, you gotta try them out eventually, right? Oh yeah, and I got the wrong shape for the badge. Because forgot what it looks like. It's been so long. There we go. That's a bit more like it. I actually saw my brother do a version of Popo recently where the badge is the wallet, and I kind of like that. I might use that going forward, but I'm not sure yet. And the shot from 1/4 view that nobody really wants to do. I mean, it ends up looking fine, but like, it's not a cool looking panel. And I'm pretty sure this tray ended up looking like it's like flying towards him. Like I fucked up the perspective on it. It's been a couple weeks since I drew this, so I'm kind of interested to see how this actually turns out now. And yeah, I got to put some torture implements on there, of course, because that's why Popo's in this room. And yeah, then the designy thing did not help. Yeah, no, that perspective is way off. Okay, good thing it's a tiny panel at least. But, like, ugh. Oh, well. And then this stuff here is easy enough. And again, it's not going to look cool. It's just a shot of Popo putting on his necklace. I don't even know if this is necessary. It's not a movie. We get it. If you show the badge in one panel and then the next panel he has the badge on, I think we can infer what happened. But I don't know. I get thinking pretty literally sometimes. And then this hatching was done a little too quickly, I think. But I mean, again, it's a small panel. It probably doesn't really matter too much. And then just a little bit of stuff in the back to break things up. You know, like that looks fine. Okay, cool. And I didn't even put off the that part of the page. I'm a little impressed with myself. And then this bit here. Yeah. So now I get to do the guns. The big rack of guns. And I think I had an idea of what I wanted to do while I was doing this. Basically, I'm just going to draw one and then photocopy it 4 times. I'm not drawing 4 of these fucking things when I don't have to. Not when it's not going to add anything. And again, just kind of making this thing up as I go, which is not the best idea. I probably should have come up with something beforehand. It's okay. When we see him next time, I'll probably be using a completely different gun design. Okay, here we go. It's photocopy time. Yep. Cut it out, glue it on. And we're going to draw Popo in here first so that we can cut the gun out fairly exactly, hopefully, and then just kind of glue it over him. It's turned into a little bit of a Captain America pose, actually. And this isn't a lot of rendering anyway. So that's all fine. And then just, yeah, glue it over, and then whatever's overlapping, we can just hatch over that too. This did end up still taking a bit of time, so I'm not sure if it really saved me all that much. You know, it looks fine. I hope it's clear what's going on. Well, the voiceover actually will make it fairly clear, so that's fine. And then just leave that to dry. And then work on these bottom panels. A lot of panels for this page, actually. Way more than I'm used to. I'm kind of used to the traditional, like, three long horizontal panels. Like it's fucking widescreen or some shit. Yeah, I get him doing his Judge Dredd frown. Yeah, some of these panels are like, they're not going to turn out too great like these middle ones, but again, it's not about, I don't know, the look of those panels themselves. It's more about the joke. It's the narration plus the little bit of movement required. I know, probably should be more about the art more often. I mean, that's kind of part of the point of the book. Oh, time to fill in some lines. Okay. Oh yeah, now I get to figure out how exactly I'm gonna do this shit. So he's gonna be holding the gun first, then holding it up and admiring it, and then cocking it. And the holding it up and admiring it are gonna be basically the same motion. Yeah, so I get to try and... what might not have been a bad idea was to photocopy it one more time. And then just kind of go off of that. But I didn't do that. Maybe I should have. Oh yeah, and ended up giving it a pump action plus... what was it? It's like pump action plus a clip or something. It's something stupid like that. And yeah, trying to kind of extrapolate off of the existing design, and yeah, it ends up looking okay. Again, guns are not really my forte. I kind of wish I was better at them. It's something I do have to work on, because they are going to show up fairly often. Yeah, this kind of stuff takes forever. And then like the final product is like, it's okay. Kind of looks like a gun. And with the voiceover, yeah, okay, I get that it's a gun. Okay. Well, like nobody's going to confuse this with like something straight out of Fallout or something. Yeah, we're coming towards the end of what I accomplished in this stream, and it's like not even close to a full page yet. And like the difference is mostly the fucking detail on this gun. I feel like. And yeah, do a few more of this rack here because that grounds me. It does help. And if you're very careful about your lines, I don't know, it feels like that effort it does translate a little bit. Yeah, I mean that looks okay. I don't think I need to put anything behind it. That's the kind of thing you can just put a color behind, assuming you do a color. Yes, I think this is later. Yeah, from here we go back to more of Maxtremus and Hawkstab, and it's like, it's not super exciting stuff. This is more in between stuff, like in between scenes. It's like it looks okay, but like there's not a whole lot you can do for walking from place to place and talking. It's like, well, you can script that out. Like, yeah, I probably should. I just get too hung up with like, how will people know what's going on? It's like, does it even matter that much? Yeah, kind of, a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, and we went from like no pistol grip here to pistol grip, and yet I'm still trying to keep it fairly faithful to the original design. It's like, you could have already switched, just made some new shit up. Because I mean, yeah, like this is not going to be the design that shows up at the end of the book. These would be boring for that particular shot. So it's gonna have to be something completely different. Which is funny because he goes into detail describing this particular weapon. It's like a 50, what is it? Joule-watt mug laser carbine. Mug laser? Mug laser. Like he knows what it is or something. Yeah, that pump action doesn't fit at all really with that pistol grip, but eh, it's not the worst thing. I think again, with how small the drawing is, it won't really end up mattering that much. And hopefully this is something I can just kind of quietly lock down in future. Decent abs. Looks good. Probably should have done some shadow from the gun onto him, but no, I didn't think about that. And then just, yeah, some designy stuff in the background. All right. Oh, gotta hatch that. Just the stuff at the bottom, though. All right. So now, more photocopying. So we're going to take that. Yep, and trim it so it fits the panel board because I didn't think about that in advance. And then this is the shot with him cocking it. So cut out the hand and just kind of redraw in. Yeah, so that should be about where it is, and you got to do it a little bit lower. And you do like a sound effect over it. And it should be fairly clear what's going on. I don't think there'll be too much problem there. Yep, color all that. Not too bad. All right. And then, yeah, just some random shit in here to break everything up. So he's not just against a white background. Yeah, sort of a combination of that ceiling tech from earlier in this page with way too much cross-hatching, as usual. And that, yeah, that random... That looks like there's like a dong hanging off of that thing. I don't think I noticed that at the time. But hopefully it kind of blends into the cross-hatching here a little bit. I think it does. This will blend a little better in a second. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, looks less like a dong now. Good job. And break that up too, because that kind of sucks as it is. And then, yeah, throw in some highlights, make it look like glowing tech. It's like, yeah, that's okay. Yep. And that's it for page 14. Yeah, 14. And, you know, I don't know, there's some fun stuff on that page. It's not the most fun thing. It's been a while since we got the most fun thing. We still got a few pages before I can do another fight, but we're getting closer at least. We're more than halfway through the issue now. So, fingers crossed. Pretty soon, I think. I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 more pages. So, anyway, that'll do it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the next one's coming out. Go and subscribe on my Patreon. That'll give you access to everything I do, from the Blood Force pages, with the scripts even, to the YouTube videos before they get uploaded to YouTube, usually a week or so in advance, and then also some Patreon exclusive content. You can also follow me on Instagram and DM me there for commissions. There you go. That was a sentence, and I completed it. It was pretty much complete. All right, so that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.